So we're going to talk about this Towa metal bobbin case. It has a anti-backlash spring in it, but more importantly, it has this new slide guide that's at the top there, and that's what holds your thread in place. So it's slightly different from this guy who has that pigtail on it. That's what most people are used to. This is a more popular one at the time. And this one's kind of new. So that pigtail tends to get a little weak. And if you drop it, especially on a concrete floor, it can break off, it can bend, it can get worn out over time. So that's probably the biggest wear issue with this bobbin case, is that that pigtail is prone to breaking, bending, and over time has to be replaced, the whole thing. So we now have this one that's available with that slide guide on it. So I'm going to show you how to use this. Some people get this and it can be a little challenging. It's not like you have to thread the thread in there. So this component is made up of two pieces. It has a front side and a back side, and the thread simply slides up in there. And there's just a little quick tip that I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over at this point. We have our paper-sided bobbins and our magnetic core. We're going to start with the paper-sided, and you do want to make sure that when you drop it in, it spins clockwise, just like that. Same as your other bobbin cases, there's a little slot right there. It drops down into there, and then you pull it up underneath the tension spring. And then to put it in the slide guide, you put the thread in between the bobbin and the slide guide. I'm going to pull it away from the bobbin case and then up. And that just simply slides right in there. And that's how you put that in. I'll demonstrate that a few more times. But I do want to talk about how that anti-backlash spring is in there, so you can see the paper-sided bobbin kind of springs. So when you do put this into the rotary hook area in the bobbin insert, where it goes, it's going to push against and it's going to hold that bobbin kind of nice and snug. Overspin is what happens when a bobbin gets smaller and smaller and it spins super fast as it's running through the machine. It gets faster and faster the smaller it gets. So it's spinning pretty fast. So when you think about your machine stops, if you don't have an anti-backlash spring or you don't have a magnetic bobbin, it can actually overspin. And what that does is it creates a little extra thread down in the rotary hook area, and that extra thread on the bobbin results in a loop on the top of the design. So that's what that anti-backlash spring does. So I do want to demonstrate that a couple more times during this demonstration, just so that you can get that kind of knack of that, putting the thread in that slide guide. That's going to be upside down. We are spinning clockwise. Drop it right in the slot and under the tension spring. I like to call it a tension flap because it really is more of a flap. Lay that thread right in between the bobbin thread and the slide guide. Pull it away from the bobbin case and up. And there she is in the hole again. You can kind of feel it kind of click in there. So it is nice and snug. It's not going to come out of there. Just like your regular thread, you cut it, about 3 inches out of the case, and that's ready to go into the machine as is. So now I want to talk about the magnetic core. And it's true with all of your magnetic bobbins, whether it's a magnetic core or it has a magnetic side on it. We have the anti-backlash spring inside of this metal bobbin case, and that works great with either a paper-sided, a plastic-sided. You don't want to be using it on a magnetic core, magnetic side, or a sideless bobbin, because that spring kind of lifts up and it's actually going to rub against the edge of the bobbin, so it's going to kind of tear it apart. So for that case, if you're using the magnetic, you are going to take this bent tweezer or any tweezer. I'm grabbing it. So right now I'm grabbing the anti-backlash spring, and I'm just going to simply lift it up and take it out and put that aside for now. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the magnetic bobbin in there. So the magnetic side always goes down into the case because you actually want it to hold that bobbin in there. So now with the magnetic bobbin, I'm doing the same thing as I would with the spring on the paper-sided. So now I have the magnetic bobbin in there. It's holding it nice and tight against the back. And it does the same thing with the paper-sided and the backlash spring. It's going to prevent it from overspinning, creating extra thread, which could end up with a loop. Those are most on the top of the design. Those loops are most apparent when you are doing like a large fill area. You'll see a couple of loops on top, and that's from your bobbin case or your actual bobbin overspinning and creating a little extra thread that doesn't belong there. Same thing, we're going to wrap it around. She's spinning clockwise, right? Drop it in the slot under the tension spring. Same exact thing, we're going to drop it between the bobbin and the slide guide, pull away from the metal bobbin case and up. See how easy that goes in? And now that is ready for your machine.